Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Today on CoinDesk, Ashish Burla from Ripple did a pretty good article. It's 2019, the year blockchain begins finance's great unbundling. And I wanted to read you a couple of parts of this article. I thought that it was a pretty darn good article worthy of your attention. And by the way, I do have cinnamon in my coffee this morning. I don't know that I did yesterday, but today I do. And so anyway, I wanted to read a little bit of this, and then I was going to go through and show you an example, just one example of what's happened over the last few years. He says industries across the board, from cable companies to grocery stores, are desperately trying to hold on to their most prized possession, the bundle. The conventional wisdom goes, if you control access and distribution, then consumers have little choice to go anywhere else. Unfortunately for sleepy incumbent bundlers, we've seen companies like Netflix and Amazon unbundle nearly every part of our lives. The same is now underway in crypto and finance, where some of the largest financial institutions are seeing their bundles face serious headwinds. Now, I want to go ahead and give you a couple of examples here. The first is when I was growing up, I can remember when the first Walmart hit the ground in my town at the time, Cleveland, Tennessee is where I lived. And that changed everything for everybody. And before that, we had Kmart, and then Kmart could not compete with Walmart, and Kmart began its slow death once Walmart showed up. Well, more recently, Walmart, and I've mentioned this on my channel before, more recently you can see that Walmart has begun to open these neighborhood grocery stores. And the reason they're doing that is because they see the writing on the wall. They see that the future is what Amazon is doing, and the only stores that you're going to need on the ground are going to be things related to food that you would need now, and not things that you could order online. And so that's why you've seen Walmart begin to do this and open these neighborhood grocery stores and gas stations. They're doing this. They're doing that, making that transition for survival. And it's very smart what they're doing. And so, but then you can take another example. We've talked about Blockbuster before. I remember when I was a kid, Blockbuster used to be, we would go on a Friday night to go rent a movie, a physical movie. And then Blockbuster, of course, laughed when Netflix came along, and eventually they got crushed by Netflix. And then Amazon, with the companies that did not learn, and it's surprising, but like Kmart and Sears, they're now going out of business because they did not respond to what Amazon was doing. They tried to compete with it and continue that same old model, and now they're dying. And so that's kind of what this article is about, is when he says unbundling, what I'm hearing is disrupting industries. Maybe unbundle is a kinder word, and maybe that's why he's using it. But anyway, moving along in this article, he says, blockchain has already started to level the playing field by disrupting correspondent banking and democratizing payments. In 2019, blockchain will start to move beyond payments and begin to unbundle securities, loans, and other derivative financial products. Now, when he says unbundle securities and loans, he is literally talking about this new asset class swallowing Wall Street. All of the stocks and bonds and all of these things that you trade today are going to be tokenized. And that we talked about that in a video in the last few days as well. It's all going to be tokenized. The world is going to be tokenized. So moving along in this article, he says, however, just like the early internet, use cases have to match where the technology is in its development stage. For example, Netflix wouldn't have been successful streaming TV shows in the year 2000 when fewer than 1% of people had access to broadband. In the last few years, it's become clear that payments are the one use case where blockchain works today. In 2019, blockchain will build on this momentum and branch into decentralized finance applications such as loans and insurance products that leverage blockchain-based smart contract platforms. And so he's saying here that Ripple's use case for XRP is the technology is there now for this to be employed in the real world, and that is huge for you and I as XRP holders. Now, I thought that it would be interesting to show you the evolution of this is Kmart from 2002. A lot of you may not remember. Kmart filed for bankruptcy protection in 2002 because they were finding out that was really an early indication of their eventual death. And the reason I remember them filing for bankruptcy protection is because I remember my mother owned some Kmart stock. And what they did was they filed for bankruptcy protection. And if you were a stockholder when they did that, you were out of luck. And then, as I recall, when they came back out of bankruptcy, which is here in about 2003, they came back out of bankruptcy, and all of a sudden there were Kmart shares, but those shares you used to have were worth nothing. And so people eventually, they were sued and all this. But anyway, then Kmart further down the road this is 2004, they decided to buy Sears, I guess thinking that they could, together they might be able to survive. And then now you're looking at today. These are the store closings of Kmart and Sears. They tried and tried and tried, but technology literally put them out of business. Amazon has completely put them out of business. These are the store closing. There will be no Kmart and Sears in the coming years because they did not change with technology. And I'm here to tell you that the same thing is going to happen with the financial industry. All of these financial industries, over the course of time, we have had to deal with middlemen left and right in finance, whether it's insurance, banking, you name it, brokerage. They've all had middlemen. And I'm here to tell you that the middlemen, whoever they are, better pay very close attention to what's happening right now. They might want to go buy some XRP. Then they may not have to work anymore. But those middlemen, if they do not learn how to move around this technology, they're going to go the way of Kmart and Sears, and they will not survive because everything is about to be turned on its head. I wanted to finish by showing you a couple of neat things. The first is, this is from Bitcoin Marius. Never heard of him. I don't think he's in the XRP community. But when I read this, as many times I tell you, when you hear Bitcoin, say XRP. Few things we see, and I believe everything he's saying here. Millions will become debt-free via cryptos. Cryptos create most millionaires of any industry. 2 years from today, nobody will be able to buy more than 5 or 10 BTC. Your family will get angry because you didn't tell them about Bitcoin, but you told them about 20 times. I do believe that will be true for Bitcoin. I believe it'll be true for XRP as well, on a larger scale, XRP. And I believe that we will all be sitting back with a satisfied grin on our face. And I can tell you what the digital asset investor will be saying as I look out over the ocean from my oceanfront beach place. I will just be laughing to myself saying, I did it. You go through life and you experience all sorts of ups and downs. But I do believe that you and I, there will be a day, a couple of years max, maybe 3 down the road, where you are smiling to yourself and you have changed your life and your family's life and your grandkids' life, and you're looking out over that ocean or whatever you want to be looking at, when you want to be looking at it, and you'll be laughing to yourself, I can't believe I pulled it off, but I did. And that's where we're headed. Next, I wanted to show you this. I thought this was cool. This is from CZ Bonnet, who's the CEO of Bonnet. Wow, honestly didn't see the previous message. Almost missed the deadline. LOL. I guess some things are meant to be. Let it spread. That's a high quality tattoo. What this is this was a tweet from a guy. This is Crypto Pilot, who follows me, so I'm going to follow him. At CZ Bonnets, at Bonnets, I'm sure that you did not see my original tweet, but I made a challenge and I'm a man of my word. I will post the picture below thanks to my good friend. This is the tattoo place. If you need a tattoo, this guy does good work because these look pretty darn good. Alaska Mike, at AK Mike's Tattoo. He follows me too, so I'm going to follow him. I'm not a tattoo guy, but for those of you that are, go check these guys out. But look at this. So what Crypto Pilot had said is not that I'm on Twitter, but I have a challenge for CZ Bonnets. Others can follow. List XRP as a base pair by end of Q1 2019, and I will tattoo the Bonnets logo on my forearm. How many others in the XRP community would do the same? And so here's his tattoo, and he also, I believe, he also got the XRP symbol. How cool is that? So I guess if the digital asset investor was ever to get a tattoo, it would probably have to be XRP, because XRP is and is going to change my life. And so that was a pretty cool thing. Finally, before I let you go, I want to show you all, especially you young people out there, this is what it looked like Christmas shopping when I was a kid. This, what you're looking at the inside of a Sears catalog. When I was a kid, there were two catalogs that I remember. One was JCPenney and one was Sears. These catalogs every Christmas around, I guess, November would come to my house, and I would go through, and I remember it like it was yesterday. They would have these numbers and letters, and I would go through these catalogs probably 2 to 5 times, and I would circle things for my parents that I wanted that I wanted them to tell Santa Claus that these were the things I wanted for Christmas. And I would circle the things. And I remember I always circled 10,000 more things than I needed or would ever get, but I would get some of them. And so this is how far that life has come. Just to put this in perspective, that would have been probably, let's say 1985, 86 was when I was going through these catalogs. By 1990, maybe 95, we first began to have the dial-up connections where we could go on Amazon, but at the time they were really just selling books, and eBay was just coming out about that time too. And you might try to buy something there, but your dial-up internet connection might fail during this time. And this is what Ashish Burla was talking about in that article a few minutes ago that I read to you, is back in 95, buying things online the technology was not there, but it was just the beginning. And so you had so many naysayers at that time that were saying, oh, well, nobody's ever going to buy things online. It's not safe. Same kind of things you're hearing now about crypto. It's not safe, and it's not this, and it's not that. Well, once the technology caught up to buying, now you can go to Amazon and you can buy anything that you can really think of, and you can have it there within a day. And one day that'll probably be within an hour. So the world changes, and many people, and this is something else that you'll find in life, many people, like these middlemen in the financial industry that I was just talking about, they're terrified of the changes that come. Well, you tell me what's smarter, to be terrified of the changes but to change with it and try to stay ahead of it to benefit you and your family. That's what we're doing as XRP holders. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that the XRP will unbundle the payments industry, and we are going to be a part of it, and our families will benefit. Thank you for listening.